Hello there my music lovers, I'm Josh from Audiophile Heaven and today we are having a look at a madly insane EM. This is the Ambient Acoustics Mod 24 and they are insane. Those are EMs or in-ear monitors or earphones with 24 drivers in each ear. They also have a pretty high price point of $3,500 US. So this is going to be unique to say the least. Let's get down with the unboxing. Back to the Mod 24. I am actually excited about this one. $3,500 US for an EM with 24 drivers per ear. Like, this is insane. This is actually insane. They also have a no crossover policy. They have 0 crossovers. They basically use a unique technology for them so that they are electrically linear and matched. So it is going to be interesting. They come with 1 year of warranty to Ambient Acoustics. The company is actually from Ukraine and it is still working as far as I can tell. I've been having communication with them. Happy to hear that because this is a company we would truly miss if it was to go away. The unboxing is quite interesting. I never quite understood the design of the box. The logo reminds me of something, but I'm not quite sure of what. And inside of the package you can find the box, the carrying case, which for a $3,500 US EM is actually quite good. This is a full leather carrying case. It has quite a lot of space inside of the case and very sturdy. Opening the carrying case, we can find both a cleaning tool and a cleaning cloth for the Mod 24. We can also find the 6.3mm adapter. We can find a little case with tips inside. And the interesting part is that those tips have the same color theme as the box with orange and black, and they are protected in a metallic carrying case. We have a little back of dry silicas so that the EMs stay dry, and we have the EMs. Mod 24 from Ambient Acoustics comes with a single-ended cable with a 3.5mm jack. As you can see, the cable is of a very high quality. They have this very nice cable. Not springy, not tangle prone, but of an excellent quality. The EMs are quite large in size and I would have expected them to be large. 24 drivers in each ear is going to take a lot of space and a lot of effort to pull off. The company surely wants to go crazy with this. The Mod 24, the EM with 24 drivers in each ear. Just let that sink in for a second. They actually went ahead and made an EM with 24 drivers. They have ventilation right next to the MMCX connector. They also have this beautiful purple faceplate. And despite me saying that they are quite large, the EMs are actually quite comfortable inside of my ears. They are ergonomically designed, and although they do stick out quite a bit, they do not create any kind of discomfort for me. They are large enough for my ears, they have good overall ergonomics and shape, and the cable is of a very good quality. I can't really feel much noise hitting the cable, which is good because it means that it will not conduct microphonic noise, so brushing against your clothes is not going to be an issue. Those are available both in the universal form but also in the custom form, the company being quite known for making custom EMs. Custom EMs are excellent for artists and those who want to go to the next level when it comes to comfort. They are very comfortable. Price tag alone means that most comparisons I will be making will be unfair because those are going to be more expensive than most EMs that I've reviewed today. Even Lime Ears Ether R is going to be $2,000 US cheaper than the Mod 24 from Ambient Acoustics. The only EM that actually comes close in terms of pricing is the Final Audio A8000, which is also quite pricey and quite high-end for an EM. The Mod 24 with its 24 drivers. I can't emphasize this enough. Those EMs have 48 drivers in total. Do you know what this means? This means that even the cost of making them is above $1,000 US if the drivers are of a very good quality. They are expensive to make. They really cost a lot. They cost a lot to engineer. This is a really high-end EM. And I really don't want to emphasize the fact that they are coming from Ukraine because they can be found and the company is still operating. The company will be around for more time and you aren't going to be left without your $3,500 US worth of EMs. They have detachable cables based on the 2-pin connectors, so you can use any other aftermarket cable, which I would actually recommend. Even though the default cables are good, I would recommend trying something like the Plus Sound Copper Plus or the Evo 1 from Effect Audio because both of those will improve your experience quite a lot. They are both going to make better dynamics, better details and better overall contrast for the sound. How do you expect a 3,500 US dollars EMs to sound like? How do you expect the sound to be like for this EM? I mean it. I would be curious to hear your opinions. What were you expecting from them and how did you think it was going to sound like? Because they sound nothing like I was expecting them to sound like. They are absolutely different from all of my expectations. I was expecting a pretty bright and pretty detailed sound with a ton of dynamics and a ton of detail. This is the honest truth. This is what I'm expecting from most flagships. I'm not expecting a ton of body and I'm not expecting a ton of weight from a flagship because usually they just go for that really revealing, really detailed sound that is going to give you a ton of information and give you that audiophile feel. The Mod 24 goes for an entirely different sound. They go for that kind of sound that has a ton of body, a ton of slam, a ton of weight, and a very impactful presentation. They present music with such energy in the lows, such substance and such overall body to the music that it's insane. It's insanely heavy and thick and lush. It is nothing like I would have expected them to sound like, I'll be honest with you. They just sound crazy. And it's crazy good actually. The detail and refinement levels are up to the price, or at least we don't really have anything to compare them directly to. But if you compare them to something like the Final Audio A8000, it is quite visible that both present the same detail. But A8000 is quite brighter and it presents the music in a much more analytical way where you are presented with every single bit of detail, but the details are pushed more into you, while the Mod 24 presents music in a much more smooth, lush and more musical way. Mod 24 doesn't really try to highlight the details. They try to blend the details with the rest of the music. They just try to make everything smooth, everything musical, and give some bass to the sound. And this is the interesting part. Ambient Acoustics and Mod 24 are rather new products and they aren't very well known yet. I hope that will become better known after I make this video. Ambient Acoustics actually managed to make an EM that sounds both lush, bassy, warm, and powerful, but at the same time have beautiful dynamics and a really wide and holographic soundstage. It's quite interesting to hear it because you don't really expect a lot of stage and a lot of information to come from a very thick and very heavy sound. Usually heavy sounds are more all about the bass, all about the nuance, and all about the impact. While Mod 24 actually goes for a very natural type of sound. It's not necessarily balanced because there is more bass and the curve looks like this. The bass is higher than the mid-range than the treble. The treble is the least in overall substance from their sound. They do have that natural lushness that comes with sound. You can really pump up the volume. You can really listen to them extremely loud. You can actually take the concert with you. This is what they're going for. They're going for that feeling that you are in the concert room. They are going for that wide holographic presentation, but at the same time, they are going for a ton of body in music, which feels natural. It sounds natural to us humans. We like having bass. We like having impact. We like feeling the thickness in music. And this is what the Mod 24 does. They present music very thickly, passionately, with a ton of nuance and a ton of detail. The dynamics are insane, and that is to be expected from 24 balanced armatures. Like, you couldn't get bad dynamics from them unless you used cheap drivers. But happily they didn't. They used pretty high quality drivers and the dynamics are insane. There is a ton of headroom, which again isn't quite expected because usually when you have balanced armatures, you expect less headroom. So you would expect less EQ options and less overall headroom to go for. You would expect their performance to worsen slightly at the highest volumes. That tends to happen with most balanced armatures based DMs when there is no dynamic driver implied. Usually the overall quality tends to be slightly worse at the maximum volume and slightly better at medium high and quiet volumes. This is something that I've noticed with virtually all EMs based on balanced armature driver. But Ambient Acoustics managed to surpass those technological limitations as well, which is interesting because the company doesn't really have that much background, at least not something that I could find quickly before making this video review. Of course, I am making this video review before writing the full written review, so please check out Audiophile Heaven for the full written review. Please do, because usually in the full written review I had more time with the product and I can present you a more balanced opinion and more information both about the sound and about their overall build quality and long-term music. In terms of pairing, they are actually not very hard to drive. And while I would recommend a music player like Astel & Kern SA180 or Ibeso DX300 or Lotopo 6000, you could get away with a much more affordable solution like Shenling UA2 or something like the Hibi FC5. and most sources are able to fully drive them. They aren't really revealing of the source quality either, so when searching how easy they are to drive and what the technical informations are, I noticed that there is a slight difference between what is written on the package and what is available on the Ambient Acoustics website. Because on their website they have the sensitivity noted as 112 decibels, while the sensitivity on their website was about 8.5 ohms when I last checked. On this package they have the sensitivity written as 118 decibels, while the impedance on the package is written as 2.3 ohms, which would be incredibly crazy low. The impedance happily isn't that low, it is about 8 ohms, that is more accurate, because they do hiss with some sources that have higher output impedance, but they don't really hiss with most sources. So unless you have a really hiss prone source, you should be okay. I would recommend using them with a very high-end music player like iBasso, the X300 or Astel Kernese 180 or Lotopo 6000 or Deathon Ray DTR1 Plus, and I would not recommend using them with sources that are known for having a high output impedance or which are hiss prone. I would also not recommend using the Mod 24 with a source that is known for lower resolution or for a sound that is very warm and very thick, because their signature is already quite thick and quite warm, and you might actually run into a sound that lacks definition and lacks the overall air and resolution that you may seek. I would recommend using them with basically most high-end music players as long as they aren't too thick or too warm for you. It is insane what the guys at Ambient Acoustics were able to pull off. A single IEM with 24 drivers in each ear. This is what you are going to get for $3,500 paid to Ambient Acoustics. Those videos reviews are made to help you make better decisions when purchasing stuff, or just bring you some entertainment. They are made to be a helpful content. They aren't made to break your Sunday and to give you a bad mood. If they give you a bad mood, better not watch me. I want you to have good mood while watching Audiophile Heaven. I also want to know, what questions do you have about the Mod 24? I am planning to publish the video review before the full written review, if I manage to edit it in good time. So please let me know, what do you think? What do you want to know? What pairings are you curious about and what comparisons are you curious about? Also, did you enjoy this video? How can I improve my content? If you have answers to those questions, or if you have other questions, I would like to see them in the comments of this video. I would also love to have you as a subscriber. Please subscribe to Audiophile Heaven for more content. Also leave a like on this video if you enjoyed the content and if it's already pretty good. I hope you have the loveliest of weeks out there, and I hope we'll see each other really soon. Bye bye.